After taking down the number 3 team in the nation, Tennessee, we were rolling. The offense was clicking. We had already pulled off big wins against Houston and Syracuse, and every week it felt like we were getting better. The wins were stacking up and the confidence was definitely growing. And for the first time all season, it felt like LSU was becoming one of the best teams in the country. But in the SEC, momentum can disappear fast. And over the next 3 games, we're about to face our biggest test yet, especially that trip to Auburn. But before we got to Auburn, we had a 4-0 Kentucky team waiting for us. And in the SEC, you can't overlook anybody. Coming off that Tennessee win, everybody was feeling good, but we knew Kentucky wasn't just about to roll over. And on our first drive, we started moving the ball pretty well. Not gonna hold you. Then on 3rd and 9, I dropped back, saw a chance to take a shot downfield. I let it fly, and honestly, I thought we had it, but my receiver couldn't hang on. And just like that, the drive stalled out. Not exactly the start we was looking for. We needed a spark. I saw my receiver beat press coverage, and soon as he got the step, I let it fly, and he did the rest. Touchdown, LSU. That touchdown gave us some momentum, and on the next drive, we started moving the ball again. And I hit my tight end on the deep crossing route, and he made a huge catch to keep us rolling. A few plays later, we go RPO, and my receiver turned it upfield for a nice chunk of yards. Everything was starting to click. Then I take a sack. Not ideal, but the one thing I've learned this season is not to let one bad play turn into 2. A play later, I dropped back, felt the pressure, and escaped out the pocket. And once I got around the edge, I knew nobody was catching me. I turned on the Jets and took it all the way in that end zone. Touchdown, LSU. And at this point, it felt like we were starting to take control of the game. Honestly, that's when I felt our confidence started to grow. The offensive line was giving me time, the receivers were making plays, and everybody was starting to settle into their role. That's what makes good teams dangerous, when everybody starts believing in each other and the game slows down and things start clicking. We had them on our heels at this point, so coach decided to keep the pressure on and go hurry up. The defense barely had time to get lined up. I dropped back, saw my running back leak out the backfield. He makes a easy catch and touchdown for my 3rd touchdown of the day. At this point, everything was clicking. The offense was playing fast, playing confident, and Kentucky could not keep up. Coach dialed up the RPO right here, and as soon as I saw the defense crash down, I knew exactly where I was going with the football. I pulled it and got out to my tight end in space for my 4th touchdown of the game. When it was all said and done, we take care of business on the road and came away with a big 44-7 win over Kentucky. The offense was firing on all cylinders, and it felt like we were getting better every week. I finished the game with 338 passing yards, 101 rushing yards, and 4 total touchdowns. A performance like that gives you all confidence. But one thing I've learned in the SEC is you don't have much time to celebrate, because the next challenge is awaiting for you. And next up, we have Mississippi State looking to make a statement against one of the hottest teams in the country. We got on board first and took an early 3-0 lead, but then I made a mistake. I dropped back, tried to force a throw, and ended up getting intercepted. That's the one thing about the SEC. Mistakes get punished fast. Mississippi State took advantage of the turnover and turned it into points. Just like that, we were down 7-3. The next drive, I knew I had to settle in. I came out focused and connected on back-to-back completions for some big gains. We started moving the ball and building some momentum. I took a shot at the end zone, but we couldn't connect. Then on the next play, I thought I had my running back out the backfield, but I rushed it and threw it out of bounds. Now it was 3rd and 10, the money down. I dropped back, hit my receiver on the comeback route right at the sticks. He made the catch, but got stopped inches short of the first down. Honestly, I wanted to stay aggressive and go for it, but we felt like we had the momentum. Luckily, the defense came up huge and gave us great field position. And that's the thing about having a good defense. They can completely change the momentum of the game. I dropped back, rolled out to my right, saw my receiver working towards the back corner of the end zone. touchdown. What a throw. Now we're starting to roll. On the next drive, I rolled out to my left, saw my tight end streaking downfield, and I let it fly, dropped it right on the money. He made the catch and took it all the way to the house. Touchdown, LSU, and the crowd went crazy. Y'all should know by now, if that pocket breaks down, I am getting up out of there. I connect with my tight end. He turns upfield, makes the defender miss, and picks up a huge gain. A few plays later, 2nd and 5, I saw a lane open up and I take off. Once I got the edge, I knew I was going. I slid into that end zone for my 3rd touchdown of the day. Step back. Now it's time to trip out. Stop playing with me. At this point, Mississippi State had no answer for us offensively. The confidence was through the roof, and we just kept our foot on the gas. I connected on 2 more touchdown passes, and every time they tried to slow us down, somebody stepped up and made a play. Then for my 7th touchdown of the day, I did what I've been doing all season, using my legs to make plays when I need to. I seen open field, and I took it. I got into the end zone for another rushing touchdown and capped off one of my best performances of my career. When the final whistle blew, we had taken care of business and made another statement in the SEC. When it's all said and done, we took care of business and came away with a 52-20 win over Mississippi State. It wasn't perfect. I did throw 2 interceptions, and those mistakes I know I have to clean up, but overall the offense was explosive all night. I finished the game with 468 passing yards and 7 total touchdowns and one of the best performances of my career. The team was rolling, the confidence is high, and it felt like LSU was becoming one of the most dangerous teams in the country. But now it's time for Auburn, and trust me, that game was nothing like the first 2.
Welcome everyone to the home of the Auburn Tigers, Jordan-Hare Stadium. As we'll see, the number 8 team in the country, the LSU Tigers, taking on a team from...
As soon as we came out, you can feel how different this game was. The stadium was loud. I mean loud. There was times I was trying to get checks to my receivers and they couldn't even hear me. 3rd and 12, I get out the pocket and pick up a huge gain. But as soon as I get to the sideline, Auburn made sure I felt it. After that hit, I knew this wasn't going to be one of those games where you can coast. We were going to have to earn everything, and I was up for the challenge. Saw my receiver come across on a slant. My line gave me a clean pocket, and I put it right on him. Touchdown, LSU, and just like that, we answer right back. I got it out to my running back out the backfield, and he broke a tackle for a nice gain. Then on 3rd down, I rolled out to my right, saw him come open again, but with the rain coming down, the ball slipped out my hand and I couldn't deliver. We had to settle for 3. In games like this, those are points you want back. Gotta be better. Auburn answered right back and took the lead 14-10. At this point, we needed a response, and on the next drive, we started to move the rock. The confidence started to build. The line was giving me time. The receivers was making plays. And whenever nothing was there, I used my legs to keep the chains moving. Those scrambles started to add up and helped us stay ahead of the sticks. By the end of the drive, my running back had us knocking on the door after a couple huge runs. The coach called the read option. I made the read, kept it, and walked into the end zone. Touchdown LSU. And just like that, we had the lead back. Auburn came right back and scored again, making it 21-17. We got the ball back, but the next drive just wasn't enough. I missed a throw I normally make, and then on 3rd and 10, I thought I had my running back underneath. Incomplete, drive over. Auburn took advantage and marched right back down the field for another touchdown. Now we're down 28-17. At this point, we had to make something happen. Drive by finding my tight end downfield, and he came up with a huge catch. Then I hit my receiver on the comeback route to keep the chains moving. A few plays later, I recognized man coverage and saw the blitz coming. I got the ball out quickly to my running back out the backfield, and he picked up a nice gain. Then I connected with my receiver on a zig route, and he got us all the way down to the 1-yard line. From there, my running back finished the job and punched it into the end zone. Touchdown LSU. Now it's 28-24, and we got ourselves a ball game. Now it was 28-24, and you can feel the momentum starting to shift. We started moving the ball through the air, picking up chunk plays and building confidence with every snap. I even picked up a tough 3rd and 1 to keep the drive alive. A few plays later, I hit my receiver on an out route and he turns upfield for a nice gain. We were rolling, but when we needed it the most, Auburn's defense came up with a stop. In 3rd and 2, we got stuffed just short of the marker and the drive stalled out. We settled for 3. Auburn answered with a field goal of their own, and just like that, it was 31-27. With the game winding down, we knew we were going to need one more drive. We were moving the ball and starting to put together another good drive. I hit my tight end underneath, and he turned upfield for a solid gain. But then Auburn's defense came up with a big play and got me for a sack. Now we're facing 3rd and 18. I dropped back looking for something downfield, but nothing was there. Rather than force a mistake, we played it smart, and then we settled for 3. Every point matters in a game like this. With just under 5 minutes left in the 4th quarter, we were down 38-30. The pressure was on, but honestly, that's when I'm at my best. We needed a play, so I dropped back, took a shot downfield, and let it fly. And my receiver came down with a huge catch that completely changed the momentum of the game. You can feel the momentum shift. A few plays later, 2nd and 5, coach calls the read option. I make the read, keep it, and got it to the end zone for 6. Now came the biggest play of the game, the 2-point conversion. I dropped back, found my running back out the backfield, and we delivered the ball. We secured it. We got it. Tie ball game on the road in Auburn. Let's go. Now it's 38-38 with under 2 minutes left. The entire stadium was on edge. One mistake could decide the game. At that point, it wasn't about stats or highlights anymore. It was about who was going to make the plays when it mattered most. We had battled all the way back, survived the adversity. Now the game was right where we wanted it, and all we needed was one more drive.
Open space at the 25.
Just over a minute left, coach called the read option. I made the read, saw the lane open up, and took off. Nobody was catching me.
Touchdown Tigers! And they grab the advantage, taking the lead here in the 4th. Man, turned to my
I got into the end zone with 1:18 left and gave us the lead. But there still was plenty of time left for Auburn to respond. But this Auburn team wouldn't go away. And just with a minute left, they marched right down the field and answered. And before we knew it, they had tied the game back up. 38-38. Now it was anybody's game. We're headed to overtime. Overtime started exactly how we wanted. I connected with my tight end for a nice game, and it felt like we had all the momentum. Then coach calls the read option. I make the read, took off, and the ball came out.
just held it poorly, and it's a fumble. Defense falls on the ball. Going to be a turnover.
Fumbles are great when you force them.
And just like that, everything changed. We fought all night, battled back from multiple scores down, and even took the lead late in the 4th quarter. But sometimes one play is all it takes, and this one is going to sting for a while. Auburn took advantage of the opportunity and then punched it into the end zone. Game over. We take a tough loss on the road, 51-45. Sometimes football will humble you. The only thing you can do is learn from it and get ready for the next challenge. The season isn't over yet, not even close. And trust me, we will be back.
As the world burns to ashes, as the world burns to ashes, I know I get past this. And whatever happens,